Hi, I am D. Balansimha, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Government Degree College, Ramanapet. In this video lecture, I would like to discuss about inductive effect and inductive effects influences. Applications of inductive effect. Okay. And after this inductive effect, I would like to discuss about mesomeric effect and hyperconjugation. So, before discussing mesomeric effect and hyperconjugation, I will start this class with explaining inductive effect. A covalent bond is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons between two atoms. If the two covalently bonded atoms are identical, the shared electron pair is equally attracted by nuclei of the two atoms. Suppose if we take CH3, okay, here central atoms are two atoms are bonded with in bonding. So these both atoms are equally electronegative, and this bond, which is a covalent bond, is formed by mutual sharing of two electrons. Okay, so this type of compounds, this type of molecules are nonpolar. Okay. On the other hand, bond between two dissimilar atoms such as hydrogen and fluorine is formed. Bond between hydrogen and fluorine, one of the atoms acquires some partial positive charge, which is having less electronegativity, and while the other atom acquires the same amount of negative charge. So it will be positive charge, it will have negative charge. Okay, this is because the two atoms have unequal attraction for the shared pair of electrons. Okay, therefore hydrogen fluoride is polar compound, copolar molecule. Why I am saying these things is to explain why covalent bonds also polarized by some factors. So inductive effects like inductive effect, mesomeric effect and hyperconjugation will explain the polarity or polarization of covalent bonds. So in case carbon and hydrogen covalent bond, the two atoms involve equal sharing of the pair of bonding electrons, and the shared pair of electrons is assumed to be symmetrical between carbon and hydrogen atoms, because the electronegativity between these two atoms is very negligible or very small. So suppose if we replace hydrogen with some X atom, okay, in methane, okay, methyl, if we replace hydrogen with X atom, which is more electronegative than carbon, this X atom will attract the sigma electrons towards itself. Okay, so it acquires some negative charge on it, and this carbon will acquire some positive charge, equal amount of that positive charge on it. So suppose if there is a less electronegative atom than carbon, some suppose Y, right? This suppose this some Y group, it has lower electronegativity than carbon atom. It has, so then these sigma electrons will be attracted toward this carbon atom, and it acquires negative charge, and equal amount of positive charge will be acquired on the Y. Okay, this displacement of sigma electrons, permanent displacement of sigma electrons towards a more electronegative atom is called as inductive effect. it is denoted by I. So inductive effect is further classified into two types, plus I effect and minus I effect. Okay, we will discuss all these things. Okay, right. So how can we define inductive effect now? Inductive effect. So the permanent polarization, okay, the polarization of sigma bond due to electron withdrawing or electron donating effect of adjacent group atoms is called as inductive effect. As we have discussed it earlier, okay, X is more electronegative atom. It withdraws electrons towards X. So it arises some polarity in this bond, in this molecule. So if suppose there is a lower negative electronegative atom than carbon, so it releases electrons towards carbon. It is called as inductive effect. So salient features of inductive effect. First, it arises due to electronegativity difference between two atoms forming a single bond. Okay, first we have discussed it already, and it transmitted through the sigma bond. Okay, next, the magnitude of inductive effect decreases while moving away from groups causing it. Okay, the magnitude will be decreased. The effect of inductive effect will be decreased by increasing the number of carbon atoms. So it is a permanent effect. So it is a permanent effect. It is not a temporary effect. Okay, unlike electromeric effect is there. By bringing some reagent, it is induced. Electromeric effect is induced, and after removing that, electromeric effect is not become to the earlier position. Okay, that molecule will become to the earlier state. So unlike electromeric effect, this inductive effect is permanent effect. It influences the chemical and physical properties of compounds, right? So here we will explain how inductive effect is decreased, its influence. Okay, here we can see that inductive effect, magnitude of inductive effect decreases while moving away from the influencing group. Okay, here chlorine is more electronegative than carbon. So this carbon chain is consisting of 4 carbon atoms, right? Here chlorine attracts these sigma bonds towards itself because it is more electronegative than carbon atom. So here negative charge is acquired on chlorine atom, and first carbon atom gains some positive charge on it, and some lesser amount of positive charge on next carbon atom, and less positive charge on another, and lesser positive charge on the fourth carbon atom. So this fourth carbon atom, this chlorine has lower influence, so it has no influence. So on fourth carbon, inductive effect of the chlorine is 0. So that's why we have discussed that I told you that the magnitude of inductive effect decreases while moving away from the group causing it. Okay, the magnitude of the inductive effect decreases. Here it is 0, nearly 0. So the magnitude of the inductive effect decreases while moving from the group causing inductive effect. So inductive effect is a positive permanent effect, first point. Second one is it is influenced by sigma bonds. It passes through only sigma bonds. So, and third one is, so thus inductive effect can be defined as the permanent effect the permanent displacement of shared electron pairs in a carbon chain towards a more electronegative group is known as inductive effect. So, inductive effect is further classified into two types based on or depending on their strength of electron withdrawing or electron releasing nature with respect to hydrogen atom. Suppose if a group is more electronegative than hydrogen, then the group withdraws electron from the carbon chain. So, then it is said to have minus I effect. Here these all groups are more electronegative than hydrogen. They attract electron towards themselves from carbon chain. So, it is called as minus I effect. These groups are minus I affecting groups. Suppose if a group attached to the carbon is less electronegative than hydrogen, it donates electrons to the carbon chain. It is then said to have plus I effect. If a group is more electronegative than hydrogen, it is minus I effect affecting group. If a group is less electronegative than hydrogen, it is plus I affecting group. So, characteristics of before that, why alkyl groups are showing positive inductive effects. So, though carbon hydrogen bond is non-polar in nature, hydrogen is having partially positive charge on it, and carbon is having partially negative charge on it. So, therefore, each hydrogen atom acts as electron donating group, then in turn makes an alkyl group and electron donating groups. So, these hydrogens are making this carbon electronegative, okay, electron dense, so it can donate electrons. That's why methyl group is electron donating group. So, next, before entering into the applications of inductive effect, what are the characteristics of inductive effect? So, inductive effect causes bond polarization and exhibits the following prominent characteristics. First one is there is no vertical displacement of electrons in carbon hydrogen bonding. So, if we observe here, there is no permanent displacement of electrons. Suppose here it is X, it is C, so it is more electronegative than carbon. These electrons should not be displaced by inductive effect. So, there is virtually no displacement of electrons, okay, right. Next one, inductive effect always takes place between a carbon atom and an electronegative atom or group sharing only a pair of electrons. In other words, inductive effect involves only a single bond, okay, Next, inductive effect is permanent effect, okay. The displaced electrons do not leave their orbitals, only the orbital is deformed a bit, and this causes polarization. And another point is different groups cause polarity to different extents, okay, right. With these things we can understand the whole concept of inductive effect, right. Next, applications of inductive effect. So, applications of inductive effect. First one is here stability of carbonium ions. With the help of inductive effect, we can explain the stabilities of carbonium cations. Here, tertiary carbonium cation is more stable than secondary carbonium cation is more stable than primary carbonyl cation is more stable than methyl. So tertiary means the carbonyl cation which is in bonding with the carbon which is in bonding with 3 carbon atoms. Okay, right. The stability of carbonium ions increases with increase in number of alkyl groups due to their plus I effect. The alkyl groups release electrons to carbon bearing positive charge and thus stabilizes the ion. Okay, here CH3 group is plus I group. Okay, these three tertiary carbonium cation is having 3 plus I groups, and secondary carbonium cation is having 2 plus I groups, and primary carbonium cation is having only 1 plus I group. There is no plus I group on methyl carbonium cation. So higher the number of plus I groups, higher the stability of carbonium cation. Simple rule of thumb. Stability of carbonium cation increases by increasing number of plus I groups on the carbonium cation. Okay, right. So tertiary carbonium cation is having plus 3I groups. Here it is having secondary carbonium cation is having only 2 plus I groups, electron releasing groups, and primary carbonium cation is having 1 plus I group. So this more the higher, what happens here, higher the number of or more number of plus I groups, it is the more number of plus I groups will stabilize the carbonium cation. The bearing the carbonium cation this positive charge. Okay, it stabilizes that positive charge. The tertiary carbonium ion having 3 electron donating alkyl groups attached to the positively charged carbon is most stable. It is because the total positive charge on carbon gets dispersed on 4 carbon atoms due to plus I effect of 3 alkyl groups. This positive charge on carbon gets dispersed on these 4 carbon atoms. So it is stabilized. So in simple words, as a rule of thumb, plus I groups, number of plus I groups increases stability of carbonium cation. So more number of plus I groups means more stable the carbonium cation. So here tertiary carbonium, we can conclude that tertiary carbonium cation is more stable than secondary, than primary and methyl carbonium cation. Next application is stability of free radicals. So in the same way, next application is stability of carbene anions. Actually free radicals, stability of free radicals can be explained with the help of hyperconjugation. Okay, here stability of carbene anions can be explained with the help of inductive effect. It is reverse to the carbonium cations. Okay, however the stability of carbene anions decreases with increase in the number of alkyl groups, since the electron donating alkyl groups destabilize the carbene anions by increasing the electron density. If you observe here, these methyl groups are electron releasing groups. Okay, electron releasing groups. Tertiary carbonium cation is having 3 minus I groups. Okay, these minus I groups increases electron density on this carbon. So it has lower density than tertiary, it has lower density than primary. So higher the electron density of a carbon ion, higher is its reactivity. So in turn it has lower reactivity, lower stability. Okay, so from this we can say that methyl carbene ion is more stable than primary, than secondary, than tertiary. So as a rule of thumb, we can remember that we can keep in our mind that higher the number of minus I groups, lower the stability of carbene anions. Higher the number of minus I groups, lower the stability of carbene anions. higher the number of minus I groups, lower the stability of carbene anions. So another application of inductive effect is acidic strength of carboxylic acids and phenols, especially carboxylic acids. With the help of inductive effect, we can explain the acidities of carboxylic acids, relative strengths of acids. Okay, right. The electron withdrawing groups minus I decrease the negative charge on the carboxylate ion and thus by stabilizing it. Hence the acidic strength increases when minus I groups are present. So however plus I groups decreases the acidic strength. To explain how this inductive effect affects the strengths of carboxylic acids, should know that what is strong acid, what is weak acid, even in relative terms. So acid strength may be defined as the tendency to give up a proton. Suppose if an acid which gives H plus ions which give up protons are called as acids. Okay, an acid is said to be strong if it has great tendency to donate proton. If it easily loses this proton or easily gives this proton, it is called as strong acid. So the acid strength can be determined by the ease with which the H plus or proton is donated. Okay. So right, acidic strength of carboxylic acid increases by increasing the number of minus I groups, decreases by plus I groups, number of plus I groups. So here the acidic strength increases with increase in the number of electron withdrawing fluorine atoms as shown below. Here we can see that acetic acid, fluoroacetic acid, difluoroacetic acid, trifluoroacetic acid. Here fluorine is minus I group, minus I atom. Okay, here the number of minus I groups are 3, here 2, here 1, here 0. So more the number of minus I groups, more is the strength of acid. So more the number of minus I groups, more is the strength of acids. Minus I groups increases the stability of carboxylate anion. Carboxylate anion is formed by donation of H plus ions by acid, by carboxylic acid. So in simple terms, as a rule of thumb, increasing minus I increases strength of an acid. Okay, more number of minus I group, more strength is the acid, more strong is the acid. Okay, next, formic acid is stronger acid than acetic acid since CS3 group destabilizes the carboxylate anion because CS3 group is plus I group. So plus I group decreases the strength of carboxylic acids. Right. On the same lines, the acidic strength of phenols increases when minus I groups are present on the ring. Here, so NO2 is minus I group, right? CS3 is plus I group. So minus I group increases acidity. So paranitrophenol is more acidic than cresol. Okay, right? So phenol is more acidic than cresol because it has no positive plus I effect or minus I effect. So basic strength of amines. With the help of inductive effect also explains the relative strengths of amines. So more the number of plus I groups increases the acidic character, basic character of amines. So which are bases, which are called as base, which is called as base, the compounds or molecules which can donate electron pair according to Lewis acid base theory, the which donate electron pairs are called as bases. Okay, here more higher the density or more density on a molecule, higher is its basicity. Okay, so amines are nitrogen groups, right? Here if we take methylamine and ethylamine, sorry, dimethylamine. Okay, it is primary amine, it is secondary amine. Okay, primary amine, it is having only one plus I group. Here it is having two plus I groups. So these plus I groups, two plus I groups increases the density of electrons on nitrogen atom, whereas in primary amine it is only having only one plus I group. So it also increases the density on nitrogen in amine group, but lesser than secondary amine. So higher is the density of electrons, higher the tendency to donate electrons to other molecules or other atoms. So higher the tendency of donating electrons means higher the basicity of the molecule. So secondary amine is more basic than primary is more basic than ammonia. So here is a litigation is here. Actually tertiary amine should be more base than secondary, primary and NS3, but in tertiary amines there is a word called steric hindrance. With that steric hindrance, these amines cannot donate electrons easily. So they are not donate and they are unable to donate electrons easily. So that's why they are somewhat weaker bases than secondary amines. Okay. Now it can be written as secondary is greater than, tertiary is greater than, primary is greater than ammonia. So basicity of amines are in this order. And another one application of inductive effect is, with the help of inductive effect we can explain the reactivity of carbonyl compounds towards nucleophiles. Okay, here it is methyl group which is plus I group. In ketone there are two plus I groups. Okay, these methyl groups increases the density at this carbonyl carbon. Okay, here one plus I group increases the density at carbonyl carbon. In formaldehyde, whereas in formaldehyde there are no plus I groups. So by this increases the density, these methyl groups increases the density at carbon. So nucleophile is unable to react with this electron dense carbon. Okay, there is a lesser tendency than acetaldehyde. Here it is having only one plus I group, so it is somewhat more reactive than acetone. Here there are no plus I groups, so nucleophile attacks here easily. So the reactivity regarding nucleophilic addition is in this order. So plus I groups decreases the reactivity of carbonyl compounds towards nucleophiles. Okay, higher the plus A groups, lower is the reactivity of carbonyl compounds towards nucleophiles. So here is an important note is here. In general, the inductive effect is less influencing than other effects like resonance effect and hyperconjugation. So, for example, the electron withdrawing nature of nitro group is mostly due to resonance effect rather than inductive effect. Here also we earlier discussed that para nitro phenol is more acidic than cresol, paracresol. So it can be explained majorly based on the resonance effect. Okay, here we discussed in the aspect of inductive effect though, right? But there are exceptions. For example, in case of halogens, the negative inductive effect is more dominating than positive resonance effect. Okay, actually these halogen compounds are minus I groups, right? Suppose this minus I group Cl, it attracts electron towards it, so it acquires minus I charge. But what I am here saying is, what I mean here is, in case of halogen, the negative inductive effect is more dominating than positive resonance because chlorine is more electronegative atom, right? So it is more it is influencing highly, it has a high influence regarding with inductive effect. Whereas suppose there is a CH2 CH double bond Cl, suppose CH2 double bond CH Cl. So chlorine is more electronegative, so it doesn't easily donate these electrons to form resonance structures. So rather than mesomer effect, it is high effective regarding inductive effect. It is one exception. Okay, right. So we have discussed what is inductive effect and types of inductive effects and applications of inductive effects, right? Thank you.